Researcher Boyd closed the hatch behind him and turned to face the containment vault's occupant. Boyd thought he looked like an old-fashioned tramp, complete with bindle and permanent 5 o'clock shadow. But yesterday he looked like a wino, and the day before a washed-up boxer. This look wasn't new. Boyd sat down across the entity and pulled up an empty manila envelope out of his jacket. "They told me that you wanted to talk." SCP-52,000 pulled itself up to the table and grinned a toothy smile. "Hey-oh, you've been getting anxious about the dreamer, right?" "Perhaps." Boyd turned the envelope over in his hands. "What do you know about it?" SCP-52,000 let out a long sigh and leaned back in his chair. "Boy, you eggheads sure get to the point quick. If I'm going to tell you that, I'll need to let you know how the world got started out." Boyd frowned. SCP-52,000 was known for spinning stories to distract from having to answer questions. Usually it's best to play along until it could be coerced into giving a definite answer. "Fine, but be quick about it. We don't have all week." SCP-52,000 chuckled. "You don't know how right you are, Chuck." He pulled a crumbled cigarette from his jacket and placed it in his mouth. Okay. So, the first thing that happened was we had the two forces of the universe. Greeks had it on point, you know? It was the music and the dreams." Boyd nodded, drumming his fingers on his thigh beneath the table. "So as they banged, and they made the world. But they didn't fill in all the space, because you can't fill in nothing forever. There's a little bit left over from the days gone by." Boyd nodded and pulled a notebook from his jacket pocket, pretending to take note on what SCP-52,000 was saying. "So that's why this third rock from Fun has all the craziness pulled to it like that shit's on rails. It's a storage depot for the unknowable. Would have worked like a breeze if you guys hadn't busted up the lock. It was more like a jar." "Whatever, Chuck. That's just how you made the smoker's stupid dream witchery true. When those two kids get together, nothing's going to be able to stop them. Not even flipping things around one more time." "I don't understand a word you're saying." Boyd put the notebook away and stood up. "If you don't have anything else to add to your story, I think we're done." SCP-52,000 held out a hand. "Wait, sit down a sec. There is something I want to give you." Boyd stopped at the hatch. "What?" SCP-52,000 reached into his own jacket and pulled out the manila envelope. "Here's what a few people have said." The envelope was tossed, picked up, examined, and stuffed into a pocket. Boyd exited the hatch, locking it behind him. Briskly, he set off towards the Records and Information Wing for a briefing and transcription of the interview. Initial Report. UIU File 1976-34, Case File Pluto's Front Door. Summary: possible portal or slate that causes immediate death upon contact. Suspect description and capabilities. Name: Object of note: Black Portal. Irregularity cross-reference: Destructive, Transport, Immobile, Local. Physical description: a cave in North Dakota which has an entrance in the form of a flat, non-reflective black wall. Wall is immobile and does not respond to provocation. Causes immediate death on contact. Sex not applicable. Height not applicable. Weight and build not applicable. Race not applicable. Hair not applicable. Eyes not applicable. Identifying attributes not applicable. Capabilities: doesn't move or take any initiative. When touched, causes objects and persons to be pulled into it and disappear. Purpose and motive: possibly a trap, naturally occurring anomaly, or a misunderstood aspect of nature. Modus operandi not applicable. Behavior: no behavior. Object not believed to be living. Evidence: no evidence related to Case 1976-34 has been located other than the object itself. Bureau Record. Current status: currently noted with light guards. Due to remoteness of location, chances of being discovered are slim. Crimes not applicable. Sentencing not applicable. History of UIU action: discovered in 1976 by a U.S. Geological Survey. Turned over to the UIU shortly thereafter and secured since then. Very little action has taken place since then, other than the tragic loss of Agent Brom to the object when he accidentally came into contact with it while doing field work at the location. Dear Mr. However, we regret to inform you that your toy proposal has been rejected for failing to meet the following criteria. Deadly to adults, animals, children, and pre-children. This violates the Wondertainment Super Safety Guarantee. Fun factor, after vigorous testing, has been rated at 0.0. Does not have market viability for future editions or innovations due to being 100% fatal to the consumer. Unpackageable. Thank you for your interest in Dr. Wondertainment, and we hope to see you innovating again soon. Shipping order 10,000, bulk distribution. Payment paid in full, product not delivered. Action, relationship with distributor discontinued. Grant request for location of high-value entity in space. Problem. The Prometheus Lab's physics lab has proven the existence of an object which could be used to dispose of any type of matter harmlessly, at little to no cost past the initial investment to find the object. Solution. In order to locate it, the Prometheus Lab's team would need additional funding to dedicate most of their mathematicians to this purpose. Business case. Once located, Prometheus will save massively on the disposal of high-risk materials that would otherwise need special handling procedures in order to nullify or put out of sight and mind. Use of funding. Currently, the only need for funding is the researchers' salaries to give them the time to find a more precise location of this object they have only just proven to exist. Further costs can be estimated once the object is located. Known issues. It may not be possible to reach and return the object within the lifetime of any current employees of the Prometheus Labs Corporation. Desiro Catalog Number SC-55/2024. Document Type Step Compilation. Dates received September 18, 1955 through September 18, 2024. Operation Status Open. Forward. This object is to never come into the hands of the insurgency. All steps to secure Site-12, the foundation location of the object, are critical to maintain. These security procedures are to be kept secret from the SCP Foundation. Hereafter, we of Delta Command document the steps of the plan as transcribed by the engineer of the Chaos Insurgency. First step, 55/6. Security parameters such as entrenching in the surrounding countryside have been enacted. Anomalous countermeasures have been placed in the uninhabited areas surrounding Site-12, which, due to its remote location, is not accessed or widely known by persons outside the Foundation and Insurgency. Further measures to be taken as the situation around Site-12 changes. Second step, 24/88. The Foundation appears to be losing control of some of their frontier sites due to the remoteness of their location and the containment difficulties suffered by the organization over the years. Efforts must be taken to preserve the security of Site-12, including by capturing the site intact and handing it over to another group which has more stability, such as the Global Occult Coalition. You want to add what to the Act? Signed, WG. Memorandum to Site Director Stowe. We currently believe that the research object has been written about in the scripture for various religious groups dealing with paranormal activity. They refer to it unanimously in terminology that describe it as empty, and at other times like a portal to their underworlds, or similar theological concepts. Descriptions generally refer to it as all black and hostile. The similarities to the research object are obvious. As such, we should take precaution against any word of this entity being held, as it may incur an attack by these organizations. Therefore, we recommend that the current INS construction Site-12 be selected as the location for the entity, due to its remote location and high security. Colonel Ritz, American Secure Containment Initiative. Title: Much Ado About Nothing. Material requirements. The piece itself is singular, having been created by the artist and using a method which has not been disclosed for artistic reasons. It is unique, and the artist does not recommend attempting to replicate it. Abstract. A black star composed of a non-reflective anomalous material. When touched, pulls the user into an undisclosed location in deep space. The person is not recoverable, so viewers are recommended to bring secondary entities if they wish to view the contact-making portion of the piece. Should be displayed behind glass, on a white pedestal with a small porthole to allow for direct contact with the object. Intent. The piece was created as a commentary on how really and totally alone we are in the universe. You can find yourself in any location out there in the cosmos, and you're not going to catch a ride. You'll be by yourself until you die. That's what awaits us up there. Note, I can't really display this thing anymore. It's cool, but nobody really wants to look at it. Gonna store it till we can find a use for it. Shadow Child. Aliases: Shadow Person, Chip, Corpo, Nobody. Note, doesn't seem to be no body, more no thing. Summary: a being repelled by light and made of shadows. Very dangerous. Consumes everything in path. Threat: high. Difficult to avoid all shadows. Interest: possible attempt to fish me out. 1. Follows, tracks, and finds me with alarming regularity. 2. No constant physical form. 3. Does not live. 4. Older than the oldest dirt. I can't explain it. Perhaps it's a case of the town not being big enough for two. This thing is to be avoided and help sought out to avoid it. Foundation or other collector may be able to keep it at bay or remove it. Thing is very old, may have evolved past destructibility. Location unknown, following me, so it's close to me. How did you get these documents? SCP-52000 leaned back, shaking his shackles. You know, this isn't what I'd hoped you would think of me. Boyd didn't respond, choosing instead to tap his pencil against the clipboard and raise a single eyebrow. None of the usual dodging for inquiry cat and mouse would be tolerated today. Man, I've just been trying to help you guys. Know that you're coming up on your number. You've got the child, but you don't understand it. What's there to understand? It wants to turn the clock back. To suck up everything with the taint of the original flaw. The big glitch that acts as your job security. SCP-52000 attempted to wipe his nose on his sleeve, but the chains didn't allow enough mobility. His face twisted as he suppressed a sneeze. Boyd narrowed his eyes and made a note. How do you know? Why are you helping us? You could easily be trying to undermine us. I know because that's the whole reason I exist. I was made specifically for this moment, right here. For you to find me, and for me to help you out when the time came. Who sent you? Every freaking buddy that doesn't want to die when this thing starts knuckling down, dummy. There's a vested interest for existing for a lot of people. SCP-52000 leaned forward from backwards and began to whisper. And off the record, you guys need the help. What do they know about the object? SCP-52000 groaned and attempted to rub his brow. Have you not been listening at all? Look, it's gonna change into something much, much closer to how it originally was. That's the deal. That's what you need to prepare for. When that starts, you'll need to play all your cards right to keep it from going back to how it likes things. Non-existent. Boyd's brow creased slightly as he took more notes. So if you're here to help, do you know what to do if it's starting? Your guess is as good as mine, Chuck. From my end, this is all she, he, and they wrote. Hope y'all don't die.